welcome back to another episode of Iron Towns Engineering. Now this is part 2 of the Little Tykes kart build. So I'll show you what we've been up to, basically, what we're going to have to do now. Today we're going to be working on the steering. So this is how we've been left already, right? So we've got a hole here for the shaft, clearance hole to go through there, a little bit of a mount, and then the actual like mounting hole at the bottom. So it's got a hole in it there for an M10 stud, so you can put a nut on the bottom of it. Now, what we want to make is, these are the knuckles, obviously, like you saw in the previous video. So we want to make a bracket what will come off here to about here on both sides of this, alright? And then essentially you'll have the shaft going through here with a tab on it and rose jointed ends, which will then do the steering. But I can show you that because I've already got some of the parts made up. So these are the parts that we've got already. This is the shaft that I made with the M10 ends. This end here goes into this steering wheel because yes, I do want the standard steering wheel. It's probably not the best to do it out of plastic, but we'll see until it breaks. And this is the adapter, or this is the tab, what's going to be welded to the shaft, which is actually going to attach to the rods. So we feed that through there like this. As you can see, it goes down there. Now that will go here, and then the shaft, the rods will come off here to there. So essentially, when you turn that, it turns that, which turns the wheels. We've got the steering wheel here as well. I'm not going to push it on all the way because it is tight. But yeah, so what we want to do now is take this into the welding bay, get that welded on the shaft. Now, the other thing I've got to do, which I didn't actually realise that I hadn't done, or I've got to do, is this mount here. Now, if I want to remove this shaft in the future, which probably I will do when I want to paint all of this, if I've got this tab on it and that's in the way, I can't physically remove the shaft. It won't go up high enough to be able to remove from here. It won't go down low enough to get through there anyway. So what I'm going to have to do is cut this off. Right, so we're just going to have this one here, maybe another one a bit higher up, but I don't know yet. We might just see how we get on with just this one here. It is strengthened quite well. So if we can have this one on here, then what I can do is undo it from the bottom, slide it up until it's out of here, pull the steering rack up a bit, take the steering wheel off, and then drop it out from the bottom. So that's the plan, what we're going to do. But let's go weld this up now.
12 seconds later.
Right, so we've got that all welded up now. As you can see, it's all lovely and welded on there, ready to go. So over here, you can see I have cut off this centre section bit that we had. Let's see if this fits now, shall we? So we're going to go there, will it go through? Oh, it's through. Yeah. And there we go. And the thread's out the bottom. Yep, there we go, that's better. So yeah, that's now all located and all in there. As you can see, when you turn the wheel, that one will go one way, that one will go the other. The idea is we'll have the rods coming out here to a right angle onto that, so that when you pull that one that way, it will pull the wheel, and the same with the other one. Don't know if that's the right direction, but that's what we're doing. So let's now make up the rods what go here and the bits for the knuckles. Now I've just noticed the first little problem with this steering. This steering wheel is hitting on these melted parts here that I had to do. So as you can see, well, I need to put a pin. I need to put a pin through there as well, really, to secure it to it. But what we need to do is take the steering wheel off and just cut that out a little bit more, or we're going to melt it a little bit. Let's see what we go with. As you can see with the steering rack, I had to add this piece here because I didn't have enough steering block basically, so I made this little piece here. So we've got a couple more holes on there, working on the outer ones, that gives you the most, so that's good. Here as well, because I wanted to use the original plastic steering wheel, which probably isn't the best idea, but I want to do it anyway. I've drilled a couple of holes through the shaft, as well as the nut what's going to hold the steering wheel in place. So we'll put some bolts through there when we put it all together, just like so, all the way through, and then we'll bolt the steering wheel into place. Knuckles are now completely done. I ain't gonna touch them too much because they're still hot. But basically we've added this piece here, so is that hot enough to, yeah, that's alright. So basically what will happen is that'll be on the cart like that with the tyre there, and the arms will move like that, moving the wheels. So next thing we've got to do is actually make the ends, the track rod ends with the rose joints, and then connect it all up and see what we're dealing with. We also had to heat these up and kink them a little bit because the track rod ends were binding just a little bit too much. So as you can see on them, they've got a slight twist on the tabs just to kind of keep everything in line. But the body is now all properly mounted. So we used 10mm studding through here, through the original mounting positions for the front wheels, straight onto there. And then we made a rear plate here for the back of the body, so that will bolt onto here. One of my mates at work did have the idea of doing a tow bar on the back of it, so tow a little trailer, which I think is going to be something to do in the future. We also cut out a little section up here in the body so that we can take the body on and off without having to slide the axle on and off. So the steering rack is now back in, and it turns. Still turns with the original steering wheel. But I'm going to have to put a support in to stop this floating about. Because I've cleaned this up and opened that out a little bit more to stop any binding on it and all that, it seems like whatever it was on was stopping the steering rack from rattling around. So I might make something what connects to the body up here, I might make something what connects down here, I don't know, but I need to obviously work that out when the engine and stuff is in place so that I know that I can take it out safely. So the next main thing we've got to do now is make the track rods. What are going to connect the steering rack to the knuckles themselves. Now for this I'm going to use some 8mm rod. As you can see here, there's a thread on this end, but that's the wrong pitch, which I done on a machine a while ago. So we're going to take this rod and we're going to make it into some lovely track rod ends to fit the rose joint ends. Now we take the engineer's wand and we say the magic words. Hibbity bibbity. Get in, you bastard! Did it work? It worked a treat. Now we take them and see if they work. Oh, look at that. Near enough perfect. Let's get them all fitted. I'll tell you, magic is fantastic. Now we've got the track rod ends on this end. As you can see, everything's fine, but on this end, just to get it straight, looks a bit too long, maybe 10mm too long. This rod here, we've done exactly the same length, so I can assume that obviously because the steering's not in the dead centre of it, it needs to be a bit longer, but it won't wind in no more neither. So I'm going to go chop about 5mm off the ends of the thread of this, and then we'll come back and see if it all fits. So I've just noticed something. We've got all the brackets in and we've got active steering. I've just realised a cock up. If I turn the wheel to the right, I'm going left. If I turn the wheel left, I'm going right. I'm going to have to fix that. So yeah, this is probably how the engine's going to sit on here. We've already set it out as well so that it clears the steering. It worked out as well that the reason that the steering goes the wrong way around is because normally with this is normally on the bottom, the tabs are normally on the bottom, or these are normally in front of the knuckles, but I can't do either of them, because if I put the knuckles in front of their engine will hit the steering, and if I put these out the bottom of this, then I can't run it as low as I want. So to be fair, I might just have to grin and bear it and just get used to the fact that it's reverse steering, because all it's meant to be is a little thing to put around a show. I'm not going to like exactly take it on a track or anything. So yeah, it might just have to be more of a death machine than it already is. But next stage will be how we're going to get the power from here all the way down to the axle. So one of the main things I think I'm going to do is a centrifugal clutch on here. It's got a chain drive through a piece in the body here. Have a carrier sprocket in here, driving another sprocket in there, which will then go down here onto another big drive sprocket on the back of the axle. Nothing is going to sit in here unless there's some suicidal little child, but even then I'd say no. I will be sat about here. I've got to make a custom cushion up here. Legs will come out here onto some foot pegs, which are going to come out about here. I've got to do that with rebar though, some nice rebar that I've got hold of. So I'm not entirely sure whether or not I want to rebuild the engine yet. My mate said a smoky, but to be fair, a smoky engine kind of fits the appeal of this car. So yeah. But anyway, cheers for watching this episode of Iron Talons Engineering, guys. Episode 3 will be coming soon, where I start attacking the rear axle and the plates for mounting the motor itself. So hopefully within the next couple of weeks we will actually have a test drive. So until that time, guys, see you around. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and cheers for watching. See you later.